Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So I've already currently done two videos today as I currently said, but now there's reports coming out in the media. I'm going to give you an update on. So the first topic of the development, I'm going to give you a bit of news on David De Gea, and I'm going to give you all the rest of the transfer news that's currently going on as well, as I do on a regular basis. So reports are now coming out in relation to David De Gea and Real Madrid. Reportedly, Real Madrid are set to reportedly revive their interest in David De Gea reportedly as well. After so far Manchester United have been in negotiations over a new £350,000 a week deal, for David De Gea. Reports were emerging quite a few weeks ago that reportedly De Gea was demanding that he wanted to be the highest paid player alongside Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United reportedly. So I think at that time he was demanding that he wanted around £400,000 a week. David De Gea, that is extortionate wages anywhere, and he wanted to be the highest paid player alongside Alexis Sanchez. But reports did say that Manchester United weren't willing to meet his wage demand, what currently David De Gea was demanding as well. But the last time I heard, recent reports were saying that David De Gea was happy at Manchester United. A while back he was just discussing about winning trophies and all that, and he's discussing about our ambitions, to be up there competing and all that, David De Gea. But I think he is happy at Manchester United, to be quite honest, because obviously we know he's still under contract here until 2020 at least, obviously, because we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract last year, of course, as well. But Man United is still in the process of trying to get him a new contract at Manchester United. I think if Manchester United can come to an agreement to get him a new contract, it will be a new 5-year deal. David De Gea will be signing as well. How old is he? Is he 27, 28 now, David De Gea? But we know he's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won the club's player of the year 4 out of 5 seasons. Of course, he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions for Manchester United. Obviously, he's made 100 Premier League clean sheets as well. But as we all do currently know, guys, we know, and obviously he's won everything here domestically as well. But we do currently know, guys, that obviously he's been here 7-8 years now. He's been here a good number of years, and he's grown and developed fantastically well for Manchester United. But we all know that Real Madrid have been long admirers of David De Gea, to be quite honest with you, because obviously Real Madrid were on the brink of getting him back in 2015, 4 years ago. But obviously Real Madrid failed in the pursuit of David De Gea, of course, as well. I think it was something to do with a fax machine, to be quite honest with you. But then after that, there were still rumours going on that Real Madrid wanted him and all that, and then the rumours died down, for quite a while. But now the reports are emerging again that reportedly Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in David De Gea, of course, as well. So obviously Zinedine Zidane has just been reappointed Real Madrid manager as most recent, and I think Zinedine Zidane admires, David De Gea, to be quite honest with you. But obviously Real Madrid signed Courtois was it last summer, I think it was, as well. Reports do come out that he's got a few targets, Zinedine Zidane, that he's interested in, of getting to Real Madrid this summer. I think he's going to get a spending spree of around £300 million as Zinedine Zidane this summer as well. Currently the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, is going to hand him this spree, because obviously he's already planning to invest this summer in Zinedine Zidane, and I think he's going to bring the glory days back to Real Madrid, because obviously he stepped down last May, Zinedine Zidane of last year, of course, as well, and he was managerless 10 months, but obviously now he's back in charge of Real Madrid. So this is his second spell now in charge of Real Madrid, and he's the only manager to win back-to-back Champions League titles, because he won 3 Champions League titles, I think, because he obviously managed Real Madrid from 2016, to 2018, of course, as well. So he has signed a contract with Real Madrid until 2022, as we all know, but he's already planning to bring new additions to Real Madrid this summer, of course, and one of his targets are David De Gea, potentially. It probably cost Real Madrid in the region of around £75 million, to get him, to be quite honest. So obviously he ain't going to come cheap, as we all know, because he's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. But I think recent reports did say that David De Gea was happy at Manchester United, even though he used to play for Atletico Madrid, and obviously he's born in Spain and all that. Is David De Gea, and all his relatives are in Spain, as we all currently know. So there has been rumours, going on about that today, that Real Madrid are set to revive their interest, of course. Zinedine Zidane's going to get around £300 million to spend this summer as well. So there has been rumours going on about that today, but we want to keep David De Gea. If David De Gea does leave Manchester United, of course we're gonna need a replacement for him as well. But I don't think he'll leave. I think Manchester United will come to an agreement of getting him a new contract at the club as well. And obviously, of course, as well, Real Madrid are obviously, I think, players will leave Real Madrid this summer as well, and obviously more than likely Gareth Bale is going to leave Real Madrid this summer, to be quite honest with you. And there's obviously been a lot of rumours going on about, Bale leaving Real Madrid this summer, because I think it did say Florentino Perez, has lost his patience, with Gareth Bale, and, he wants him out of the club this summer, even though according to Dan Bollon, the Spanish publication, did currently suggest out recently that he was happy in Spain and he was not willing, to move on, Gareth Bale and all that as well. But obviously now, since the reappointment of Zinedine Zidane, I think, Gareth Bale his future with Real Madrid, his long-term future with Real Madrid is definitely in jeopardy now, because obviously Zinedine Zidane and Bale, have a bad relationship, of course, as well. But as I did say, the rumours have been going on, about Manchester United, being linked with a move for Bale, of course, as well. And, the rumours do continue to persist, as we all know. And we have been hearing this since, 2013, that Manchester United, have been interested in Bale. Reports were coming out, when we had David Moyes, that reportedly he was on the verge of getting Bale, back in the David Moyes era as well. But the rumours do continue to persist. I think Solskjaer himself is aware that we do need to go for try and sign some quality players, of course, because we know that investment is needed to Manchester United in the summer. And of course, Solskjaer has obviously told the Manchester United board that he wants 4 signings this summer. And he's actually identified, the areas where he does want to strengthen up, of course, as well. Because obviously, we do expect players to leave this summer, of course, as well. I think Solskjaer will obviously, have a big say on our transfer plans this summer, of course, as well. I think Solskjaer wants to get a right winner to Manchester United this summer, and I think that's his priority, and I think that's Manchester United's priority, according to recent reports, because recent reports did say that actually Solskjaer was not interested in buying any defenders, of course, because he wants to give our current defenders a chance to impress and prove themselves and all that as well. But we definitely do need a centre-back, without a shadow of a doubt. But Bale is a winger, as we all clearly know. As I did say, Real Madrid won't recoup the initial 86 million pounds. They paid for him from Tottenham, of course, back in 2013, of course, as well. They won't recoup that now, because obviously, Bale is obviously, aging up. He's nearly 30 years of age. Of course, he's got a record of injuries as well, and he's injury prone, is Gareth Bale. His ratio is still very, very good, and obviously all his silverware he has won, Gareth Bale has obviously, become as a Real Madrid player, of course, as well. Real Madrid could still maybe, get 55, 60 million pounds for Bale, as we all currently know, as well. And he's still under contract with Real Madrid until 2022, as well. But when he was younger, he had 6 good years, with Tottenham and all that. He had a good he began his career with Southampton as well. Did Gareth Bale. But the rumours do continue to persist, and Solskjaer hasn't really said much, of Gareth Bale being linked with a move to Old Trafford. But I think he refuses, to rule a move out for Gareth Bale. To be quite honest with you. So he's been a potential Manchester United target. I wouldn't say he's been a priority target, but we still, hear the rumours that Bale's been linked with a move to Old Trafford, because Real Madrid, I think, will get rid of him in the summer, to quite honestly, to recoup some money. Of course, obviously, already Zinedine Zidane's getting £300 million to spend this summer in that Real Madrid team as well. And they've got quite a few aging up players in the squad, Real Madrid. Of course, they lost Ronaldo last summer as well. And they have got quite a few aging up players, as we all currently know as well. But obviously, Zinedine Zidane's going to have his say on Real Madrid's transfer plans this summer, because he's going to get £300 million to spend. And of course, Real Madrid obviously, linked with Eden Hazard, of course, as well. And Real Madrid, the narrative's been going on about this for a long, long time. That Real Madrid have been heavily linked with Eden Hazard. Of course, with Chelsea getting that transfer ban for breaching regulations around the transfer of minors and all that. Chelsea got this transfer ban, so they can't do any transfer activity this summer. They can't do any transfer activity next January, of course, as well. So they're going to have to wait until the summer of 2020 at Chelsea, of course, before they can make any signings. Of course, Chelsea can sell players and get rid of players, as we all currently know. But obviously, with this transfer ban, Chelsea will want to basically, keep hold of Eden Hazard. And I think the only chance Chelsea have got of keeping Hazard is if, obviously, they either win the Europa League and getting to Champions League for next season, of course, as well. Obviously, finishing the top 4, of course, and getting Champions League in that aspect as well. But there's quite a few teams, going for that top 4, to be quite honest, because a player of Eden Hazard, level and calibre, wants to be playing in Champions League football. And, Eden Hazard, actually was discussing last summer, as we all know. I think he actually said he wanted to leave Chelsea. I think he said last summer, after the World Cup, that he did want to leave Chelsea, did Eden Hazard. He's under contract until the summer of 2020 with Chelsea. I think he's refused to sign a new deal with Chelsea. I think Chelsea were willing to offer him £300 £300,000 a week. But potentially he's definitely Chelsea's best player. You know, this is what, his 7th season now at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea paid £32 million for him from Lille, of course, and he's obviously won everything in English football as well. With Chelsea, he's made over 300 appearances, scored over 100 odd goals as well, and potentially, you know, he is the best player in the Premier League. But Real Madrid, of course, have been heavily linked with him, and now I think it did recently say that Eden Hazard has revealed that he intends to make the move to Real Madrid. But now obviously Zinedine Zidane's now returned, and obviously, you know, Zinedine Zidane and Hazard, you know, have a great relationship. You know, they get on together. I think Eden Hazard's destined, you know, to go play under Zinedine Zidane, to be quite honest with you. So it's likely Chelsea will lose him this summer. It will probably cost Real Madrid in the region of around £100 million to get him this summer as well. So I think Chelsea demanding that they want around £100 million for Eden Hazard as well. And obviously there's other targets, you know, that Real Madrid have been interested in as well. But other transfer rumours, as I did currently say, as we all currently know, because we definitely know that signings are needed into Manchester United, as we all currently know. I've already identified, you know, the current areas, you know, where Manchester United need to strengthen up. Reports are saying that we're going to get around a £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer as well. Solskjaer himself, you know, has been been discussing, you know, our summer transfer plans, of course, as well. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's obviously been in discussions with the board, you know, of what players should stay and, you know, and what players should leave Manchester United in the summer as well, because obviously, you know, we know that players are going to leave Manchester United this summer. I do still think probably Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will probably get the job on a full-time basis, you know, considering that we have now lost 2 in a row. So that's the first time we've had back-to-back defeats, you know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But I still think it's favourite to get the job full-time. I think Manchester United, you know, do want to announce it, you know, before the end of the month, of course, as well. And maybe some people may be changing their opinions now in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, saying that, as I did say earlier on my other video, that, you know, obviously he's alright temporary, but could he take this team on full-time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? And that is the big question. Do we need a manager that's obviously got a lot more managerial experience than Solskjaer, who's obviously won a lot of major honours and won a lot more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager, of course, as well? Because let's be honest, Solskjaer's managerial pedigree isn't that good, as we all know, to be quite honest with you, in terms of like winning any major honours. But he's done a really, really good job, you know, since he's come to Manchester United. You know, let's be honest, because when he came in, Manchester United, you know, were 11 points behind top 4, don't forget, and we're still in the mix, you know, for that top 4. And we know, he's done really, really well, Solskjaer, you know, considering the amount of injuries Manchester United have had. You know, he's done well as well, considering that we didn't invest in the January transfer window, so we didn't make any signings in the January transfer window as well. And he's done a really, really good job, as I currently said. I know overall we've invested a lot of money, you know, since Ferguson left. You know, we spent about £700-800 million on players, and I think the majority of that, the 90% of that money we spent on them players was actually on the wrong players, you know, with the wrong players, you know, the wrong mentality and all that as well. But we've seen players come in, you know, we've seen players go as well. But I think Solskjaer's done a really, really good job, and I just think it's a blip, you know, to be quite honest with you. And I think the international break has come at the right time, you know, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, obviously we can have more discussions with the team and that, and get the team prepared after the international break for the Watford game as well. But as I did say, it's very, very essential that Manchester United can get into Champions League for next season. So this is either meaning we win the Champions League, of course, we win the Champions League, and obviously, you know, get into the Champions League for next season. Obviously, plus as well, that will invest a lot of money, more money into the club, of course, as well. If we don't win the Champions League, and you know, we definitely need to get top 4, to be quite honest, because we want to have a competitive summer transfer window, because we know that new additions are definitely needed into Manchester United, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. But for me, I won't change my opinion as yet. You know, if we go winless in our next 2 to 3 games, and then we'll be totally having a different conversation. Then you know, questions will be asked. You know, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the right man for Manchester United on a full-time basis? That's when questions will start to be asked, but not just yet. You know, we can't really ask for any more, because he's done a really, really good job as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know as well. But there's still some contract renewals out to sort out as well. But obviously as well, you know, there's been other targets, you know, that Manchester United, of course, have been interested in as well, as we all know. We know we've been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, as we all currently know as well. And we know Manchester United have been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. And I do really, really like Jadon Sancho, you know, to be quite honest with you. As I did say, he's only young. He's only 18 years of age, of course, as well as Jadon Sancho. And, you know, he's attracted interest, you know, from quite a few teams across Europe, you know, to be quite honest, considering how good he's been, you know, since he's got into the Borussia Dortmund first team. You know, he has been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years now. Reports have been coming out out saying that reports have been coming out reportedly saying that reportedly Manchester United, are prepared to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho. This would potentially make him the most expensive English player ever if Manchester United could actually, come to an agreement, to get Jadon Sancho in the summer. Of course, he's under contract with Dortmund still until 2022, of course, as well. But is Jadon Sancho the solution to our long-term problems? And I'd say, yeah, I say he would be, to be quite honest with you, because he's very, very good. He shows that ability to attack, he scores goals and all that, does Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. And yeah, so I think Borussia Dortmund is standing firm and they're being ruthless, in relation, to Jadon Sancho. And I don't think they're willing to offload Jadon Sancho, regardless of what Manchester United offer this summer. If Manchester United do put an offer for him this summer, reportedly, I think the Borussia Dortmund director has actually confirmed he's confident that Jadon Sancho will remain at Borussia Dortmund in the new season as well. But he's only 18 years of age. He only broke into the England first team last year as well. But there's been a narrative going on about it for the past 3 or 4 years or something like that as well, to be quite honest with you. But Manchester United have been linked to him. And, he's obviously had experience of playing in English football. He spent a couple of years with Manchester City, as we all know, the Jadon Sancho. He never got into the first team, and this was the majority of the reason why Jadon Sancho, left City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course, as well. And Borussia Dortmund only paid around £8 million for him, of course, as well. But we've identified Jadon Sancho as a summer target, and I think he'd complement our attacking line very, very well, of course. He's obviously, got a lot of years ahead of him as well. But as I did say, Borussia Dortmund have been known for doing business with the players. They did it with Aubameyang, they did it with Ousmane Dembele as well, as we all currently know, guys, as well. So, yeah, Manchester United have been linked with him. We know Joe Felix, that young 19-year-old I've been updating you on. He's been a Chelsea target. He's also been a Manchester United target as well, as Joe Felix, that player I've been giving you an update on. And Joe Felix, since he's broke into the Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very impressive indeed of Joe Felix. Obviously, Man United instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player as well. So, Man United, scouts have been watching him on a regular basis because he has been impressive. I think reportedly he's got a buyout clause of around £105 million. He's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. He's only 19 years of age. He's mainly a winner, but he can play in other positions as well, this Joe Felix. So he's versatile, of course, as well, this Joe Felix. But Manchester United have held negotiations, with Benfica over this. I think recent reports have suggested that Joe Felix is happy, to remain at Benfica, of course, as well. But Manchester United have also been interested in Joe Felix as well, so his name's actually big mentioned as well. Other targets, we know that Manchester United have been interested. We know there's been a narrative going on in relation to Philippe Coutinho as well, and we do know that his name has been mentioned. I don't think he's a priority target for Manchester United, but his name has been mentioned as well, because recent reports, we heard a narrative, back in January that Manchester United were interested in him. It also said that Chelsea were interested in Philippe Coutinho as well. For me, I don't think Coutinho was a good player at Liverpool. He had 5 great years with Liverpool, as we all know, and he can play as an attacking mid. He can also play as a winner as well. Can Philippe Coutinho. But I think he's actually mainly an attacking mid, to quite honestly. But he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Barcelona. He's only been there just over a year, of course, as well. But for me, there has been rumours going on saying that reportedly there's been some kind of negotiations with his representatives, and reports have been saying he has spoken to some of the Manchester United players, regarding the move to Old Trafford this summer, for Coutinho as well. I don't think Manchester United are keen on signing Coutinho, to be quite honest, because he's been very, very poor at Barcelona. He's struggled to get game time, so he hasn't really been getting regular game time. Coutinho, I just don't think he's fitted in Barcelona's system, to be quite honest with you. And obviously, Barcelona paid £142 million for him in January of last year, of course, as well. So he has been at Barcelona just over a year, and of course he is the third most expensive signing, is Philippe Coutinho in world football, behind Neymar and Mbappe and all that as well. But he had 5 great years with Liverpool, did Coutinho, but he's failed to replicate that form at Barcelona as well. And I think he would cost around £100 million to get him this summer. So Barcelona won't recoup the initial £142 or £143 million, they did currently pay for him as well. So we know that there's also also been rumours about that going on as well. And we know that we definitely need a centre back, because we haven't had a world class centre back, we haven't had a world class centre back, since the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, because they were a great centre back partnership, back in the day as well. So we definitely need a centre back. Even though Solskjaer recently revealed that he's not interested in buying any defenders this summer. He's focusing on more attacking. He's focusing on more attacking additions to the squad. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and this is what he recently said from his perspective as well. But we know reports came out the other day, of course, about Toby Alderweireld as well. There were news going on about him as well, saying that Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld this summer, reportedly. Because Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld this summer, reportedly. And, reports were saying that Manchester United are expected to sign Toby Alderweireld this summer, based on his refusal to renew his contract with Tottenham as well. And obviously, Manchester United were actually linked with Alderweireld last summer, but we actually in the process never come to an agreement, to get Toby Alderweireld, because I think at that time Tottenham were demanding around £60 million, something like that, for Toby Alderweireld, or something like that as well. But Tottenham, Tottenham, I think, probably want to keep Toby Alderweireld, because it's going to be hard for them, to find a replacement for him, of course, as well. Obviously, last year, Tottenham activated a 12-month extension, of course, as well. That obviously included a release clause. So this means this summer he's going to be available for £26 million, is Toby Alderweireld. So that is a reasonable fee, for the player. That I do have reservations about him now, because obviously he's aging up. He's just turned 30. And, of course, he has lost that yard of pace as well. So I think he needs to adjust his game a bit more. But Toby Alderweireld, to be quite fair, is Premier League proven, and he can be a world-class centre-back. And Toby Alderweireld, he can operate as a right-back, but he's actually, main position is a centre-back, is Toby Alderweireld as well. So his name got mentioned as well. And he's been in the Premier League quite a few years. I know he's an ex-Atletico Madrid player. He's an ex-Ajax player, where he began his career as well. But he is aging up now, is Toby Alderweireld, as I said. So Man United going to go in for him in the summer. But that's tempting for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. £26 million, quite cheap, to be quite honest with you. But we do know that we do need an experienced centre-back. And Toby Alderweireld is an experienced centre-back. But I think Koulibaly, would be fantastic for Manchester United. He would address our defensive deficiencies, would Koulibaly, if he could come to Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. I haven't been hearing much rumours about it lately, Koulibaly, being linked with a move to Manchester United. But Manchester United, have been, were interested in Koulibaly, in the last couple of windows. Obviously, we've identified him as a number one target for the summer, to address our defensive issues, of course, as well. And he's an experienced centre-back, he's versatile, as I said. He's 27, or is he 28 now? He's still got a lot of years ahead of him, as Koulibaly as well. And he's grown, developed and flourished fantastically well. He's also tall as well. But he's been at Napoli a number of years now, and his performances have been absolutely fantastic indeed, of Koulibaly's as we all currently know as well. He's still got a contract with Napoli until 2023, as we all currently know as well. But obviously we know it cost us in the region of around £90 million at least, to get Koulibaly this summer, of course, as well. Because in the process, Manchester United had three bids, turned down for Koulibaly back in the January transfer window as well. And obviously the most recent one was obviously £95 million that Manchester United had turned down for Koulibaly as well. But Napoli only paid £7 million for him from Genk, as we all currently know as well. And he actually began his career as a youngster with Metz, did Koulibaly as well. But he's grown, developed and flourished fantastically well, and he's one of the best players in world football in his current position in full, which is obviously central defender, of course, as well. So we do need we need a world class centre back, and obviously Koulibaly is one as well. So obviously I've already identified the key areas where we do need to strengthen up in the summer. Solskjaer is aware that we do need investment this summer. It's a shame that we didn't spend in the January transfer window, of course, as well, because I said it'd have been better to maybe even get one signing in January. It's better than getting none, but we failed to do that, of course, as well. But we've done really well, of course, considering that Solskjaer hasn't spent any money yet at Manchester United, and we're all aware that in this summer coming up, Arsenal will probably invest this summer as well, to make them more competitive, to try and make them more competitive. Likely Liverpool may maybe get a player or two there this summer as well. Maybe even Man City might. You just don't know, to be quite honest. So is it intentional? That Manchester United do invest this summer, of course, as well. Just trying to. But as I did currently say, yeah, so obviously, we've done well as well, considering, the string of injuries, as well, that Manchester United have had, because we do know, that we've had a string of injuries, of course, as well. And, Lukaku's currently got an ankle injury, as we all know. And to be quite honest with you guys, I hope his injury, is not too severe, to be quite honest with you, Lukaku, because, he's regained his position in the team most recently, as Romelu Lukaku, as we all currently know. And I think he's better, Lukaku, when he's getting that support up front, from Marcus Rashford, because he's not reliable enough, when he's up top on his own, Romelu Lukaku, as we all currently know. But overall, we still know that he's got a very, very good pedigree. In the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku, as we all currently know. But as I did say, most recently he has been in absolutely fantastic form indeed, as Romelu Lukaku. As I said, he does seem spotted in the big games, and we know that his first touch does concern us all, as I said, but he's still a very, very good player, and he can finish as well, Romelu Lukaku, but I think he's better when he's getting that support up front, to be quite honest, because obviously, he's more reliable, is Romelu Lukaku. As I said, he's been sent for a scan, he's been assessed as Lukaku. I haven't really seen when he will recover from this ankle injury, but he did suffer it against PSG in the second leg, as well as it did say. So it's disappointing, to be quite honest with you, that he's out with an ankle injury. Of course, Sanchez is out as well, and he's one of the likely players that's going to leave Manchester United this summer as well, Alexis Sanchez. There's been talks about Lukaku maybe leaving this summer. I'm not too sure if he will or not, but there's been talks about that going on. Sanchez will leave Manchester United this summer, I should imagine, because he's been very, very poor since he's come a Manchester United player. He's been very, very inconsistent as well. Struggled to make an impact. He's lacked goals, and I think Solskjaer's lost faith in Alexis Sanchez, and I do think he's lost trustworthy in Alexis Sanchez as well. To be quite honest, because he's been very, very poor indeed, and I think to be quite honest with you, I think he'll end up losing that number 7 shirt. To be quite honest with you, Alexis Sanchez, and someone else could actually fulfill that number 7. It was good when he was Arsenal, and he's been in the Premier League quite a few years now. Alexis Sanchez, this was including his time he had with Arsenal, but he just failed to make an impact at Manchester United. I just don't think he's fitting under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system, to be quite honest with you, is Sanchez as well. And obviously, it will be hard to find a buyer in the summer, considering his extortionate wages he's on, which is obviously over £500,000 a week as well. Obviously, the highest paid player in the Premier League, of course, as well. So I think he's going to leave in the summer. Obviously, he's just sustained another injury. He's got a knee injury, so it initially said he was going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks as well. And he's suffered quite a few injuries, since he's been a Manchester United player, Sanchez, as well. And obviously other players are going to leave Manchester United this summer, as we all currently know as well. Valencia is definitely on his way out of Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. He's on his way out. Obviously, Manchester United opted against the decision to give him that new one, to trigger that 1-year extension. It comes to an end of his contract this summer, does Antonio Valencia as well. So definitely, guys, Valencia's on his way out, and he's going this summer. He's obviously out at the moment with a calf injury, is Antonio Valencia, of course, as well. But he's won everything here domestically. This is his 10th season. He has made over 300 appearances in all competitions, as well as Antonio Valencia. Darmian's on his way out of Manchester United as well. He's another player that's on his way out of Manchester United, Matteo Darmian, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, as well as Matteo Darmian, of course, as well. So I think he's on his way out of Manchester United. Marcus Rojo as well. He's just recovered from injury, as well as Marcus Rojo, and he's enjoyed a difficult time here. Struggled with his fitness regime and all that, as Marcus Rojo. So he has struggled, at Manchester United, because he struggled to get a run of games under his belt, as well as Marcus Rojo. So he's a likely player that could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. So we do expect, departures this summer. Of course, as I did say at the beginning of the video, the main part of this video is about David De Gea. Real Madrid are set to revive their interest, and if Manchester United can't come to an agreement to get De Gea a new contract, he probably will go to Real Madrid. Well, David De Gea, of course, because obviously Zinedine Zidane's returned. Zinedine Zidane, has identified David De Gea as a potential target now for Real Madrid, because obviously before Zinedine Zidane come in, obviously when Santiago Solari was in charge, Santiago Solari was in charge of Madrid. The rumours had died down. With De Gea linked with a move to Real Madrid, even though he was on the brink of joining Real Madrid 4 years ago as well, but it didn't currently happen. But as I did say, I give him a reaction on the Wolves game, of course, as well. And, to be quite fair, I was very, very disappointed. So this has got to be, a reality check, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and all that as well. As I did say, my opinions won't change on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite honest with you. It was very, very disappointing, yesterday night. Wolves were the much better team. Manchester United, that was arguably, that was actually our best 11, I think, that we actually, went out with. But I thought we were poor yesterday. Wolves had a game plan, as I did say, Wolves actually, part the bus. And, they were planning planning, to hit us on the counter-attack with Wolves, and that absolutely worked perfectly for Wolves. Wolves were the much better team, as I said. Manchester United, had a lot of possession in the first half, to be quite honest with you. We couldn't really, I thought we was very, very ineffective in that final third. I thought we was very lacking in that final third, to be quite honest with you. Wolves were winning them first balls, Wolves were winning all them 50-50s and all that as well. They played with a lot of tempo as well. They played with a high line. Of course, they were causing us problems in that defensive area, And I thought for Wolves, if I'm going to be honest with you, who's the player called? Raul Jimenez, had a really, really good game for Wolves. As I said, Diego Jota had a really, really good game for Wolves because obviously, Raul Jimenez scored for Wolves. Diego Jota scored for Wolves as well, and they were a great, fantastic partnership in Wolves' attacking line. To be quite honest with you, and they were causing them all sorts of problems. But Manchester United, I don't think there was one player that stood out for me yesterday. To be quite honest with you, Pogba wasn't effective. To be quite honest with you, he had a good couple of moments where he was driving forward, but apart from that, I thought he was he wasn't effective enough, Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. I don't think we got Martial or Lingard enough in the game, to give, Marcus Rashford that support, down the middle, as I currently said as well. So Lingard wasn't that good. Martial wasn't that good. I thought Lingard, obviously, just recovered from hamstring injury. I thought Herrera was ineffective in that midfield as well. But mainly overall, before he sustained that hamstring injury, his performances have really, really improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he was very, very poor yesterday, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Rashford is a very, very good player. He's still young. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. And I've always said Rashford's very, very effective down the middle, but he wasn't getting that support yesterday. And as I did say, Rashford hasn't been the same player since he's recovered from that ankle injury. He sustained against Liverpool as well. He hasn't been the same player because we know usually he's like lightning. He likes to get them runs in behind him and all that as well. So mainly recently he hasn't been playing to his potential best, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, as Marcus Rashford. Even though he did score the consolation, deep into stoppage time, right near the end of the game as well. I thought we was getting exploited far too easily out on them wide positions as well, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But Pogba was poor. Matic was really, really poor again. That's another bad game the man Matic has had. He was very, very ineffective in that midfield. He was too slow. Played quite a few misplaced passes, especially in the first half as well. And Wolves, deserved the victory, to quite honest. And I've got to say, that's probably the poorest performance, under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reign, to be quite honest with you. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is aware of that, to be quite honest with you, because obviously now that's back-to-back defeats for us, as we all currently know. That's back-to-back defeats for us, as we all currently know, which is bad news, as I said. But who scored for Wolves? It was Raul Jimenez who scored for Wolves, who had a great game for Wolves. Diego Jota had a really, really good game for Wolves as well, and Wolves had other chances as well, so it could have been potentially more than 2-1 to Wolves. Wolves could have had maybe 4 goals, yesterday, because they had other chances as well. They had a great chance before half-time through Diego Jota. They had a great chance in the second half with Raul Jimenez from the header from the corner, good save from Romero. Moutinho had a great chance, great save again from Sergio Romero in that aspect as well. So Romero had a pretty, good game yesterday night, to be quite honest with you as well. So obviously it's disappointing because I think that's the only chance, we had a winning silverware this season, to be quite honest with you. There's still an outside chance we could win the Champions League, but I just don't see it happening, to be quite honest with you. I don't like to be negative, but I just don't really see it happening, to be quite honest with you guys as well. But Solskjaer needs a reality check, of course, as well. And we've got to bounce back after the international break as well. It's always very, very essential indeed. So we wasn't good yesterday night, as I said. We had a lot of possession, especially in the first half, but we couldn't really break Wolves down, couldn't really exploit any space because Wolves did well defensively as well. And that's what the plans do, defend and hit us on the counter-attack. And this is exactly, what Wolves did very, very well indeed. And Wolves have had a really, really good season, as we all know, as I did say. They're in the semi-final now of the FA Cup for the first time since 1998, so that's 21 years ago. They're sitting 7th in the Premier League as well, and the record against the big teams has been very, very impressive this season. Nuno Santo has done a really, really good job with Wolves, to be quite honest with you as well. So so the main part of this video is to guys is to give you a current update on David De Gea. Reportedly, Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in David De Gea. Reportedly, so the rumours are now back. So obviously, Zinedine Zidane's been reappointed. He's going to get around £300 million to spend this summer with Real Madrid. Reportedly, this is what Florentino Perez is going to give him to spend, and he's already identified quite a few targets as Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well. So he's probably going to get Real Madrid back to playing the way they were, when obviously Zidane was there before, because obviously there wasn't the same team, when Santiago Solari was in charge of Real Madrid as well. So obviously he's identified, quite a few targets for this summer, and David De Gea is one of them. So, he's pinpointed that as Zinedine Zidane as well. But obviously it'll cost him in the region of, as reports do say, maybe 75 million, something like that as well for David De Gea. But I think hopefully Manchester United can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract as well. But yeah, Solskjaer was disappointed with the performance yesterday. Of course, as he did say, he was unhappy with the attack. He was unhappy with the link-up play as well, because I thought the link-up play was very, very poor. I don't think there was enough chemistry, with the front men. I don't think there was enough chemistry, from Pogba to Martial and all that. So it was a very, very poor performance, from Manchester United, of course, as well. I think we only had, one shot on target, the whole game as well. So it was a poor performance for Manchester United. But I'm still Solskjaer in, he's going to get the job permanently. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know, because I did say we didn't spend any money in January. Solskjaer spent no money so far since he's come in. He's going to have his say on our transfer plans this summer, of course, as well. And obviously, I know we spent a lot of money since Ferguson retired, as I did say, £700-800 million or something like that as well. We've spent, since the Ferguson era, we've seen players come in, as I did say, we've seen players go as well. As I currently said, but as I did say, he's done a good job. 11 points behind top four when he first came in, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So he has done an amazing job. We've had injuries as well, and so you can still praise what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done. Solskjaer's blameless in this scenario, but every team has blips. But as I said, if we don't win as next 2 to 3 games, after the international breaks, that's when questions will start to be asked, of course, as well. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, guys, as I said, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you guys all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.